President Trump has walked out on today's negotiations to end the partial government shutdown. As Joyce Filippi tells us, it was a life-changing moment that the Drummonds say they'll never forget. An 11-year-old girl may be in trouble after she brought Rice Krispie treats to school, possibly laced with marijuana. Owner of Ouachita Brewery tells the night team's Chelsea Jones he isn't seeing too much of a problem yet. Monroe police are investigating a crash involving a city bus and a pickup truck. Our top story, an elderly man found dead inside his Bastrop home this morning. Now the sheriff's office has 3 persons of interest in custody. Tickets are now on sale for this year's St. Jude Dream Home. The rest of the country, though, getting snow. So we could be thankful for the fact that we're just getting a little bit of rain. The police have arrested 3 men for killing a Shreveport police officer, Shatiri Payne. NBC 10's Bria Jones speaks to a neighbor and police who tell her that car barely missed 2 children sleeping on the couch. A Monroe man is in custody after police say he tried to take a deputy's gun during a traffic stop. Police say Kenny January ran a stop sign and kept driving. The government shutdown has left more than 800,000 people unpaid today. She's suing Winfield Police. NBC 10's Chelsea Jones joins us live from Alexandria. I'm Natasha Williams. The longest government shutdown in history has fewer workers off the job tonight. New report shows that drinking water at your child's public school may be contaminated with lead. I decided to go for a run Wednesday like I'd done several times a week for months here at the popular West Monroe track. Lots of people had the same idea, but after about 30 minutes I realized I was on the track alone. Leaving my keys here on the bench of the track is something I do every time I come here to run, but I never expected someone to grab those keys and take off.
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody like having that happen to them.
But that's exactly what happened to me. I watched a man on a bike drive up to the bench, take my keys and pedal away. Luckily for me, I ran the suspected thief down, tried to grab my keys, but when he pushed me, I slugged him and I grabbed my keys. He pushed me again and I slugged him again. I had already called police. They were on the line with me as I fought to get my keys back. Caitlin Donald just finished her finals at Louisiana Tech, and when she comes home, this track is where she comes to exercise.
Of all the years that I've run here, that's never really been an issue, but it is believable considering how many people pass by here every day.
Caitlin plans to change her routine. Wednesday, she left her car keys on the track bench like I did, but she says she won't do it again.
Next time, I'll for sure keep my keys in my car. I definitely am surprised that of all people that are around here that somebody would come and do that, yeah.
But another track regular is not surprised at all. She says her keys are locked up as she runs.
I have one of those little keypads, so I lock mine in the car, and it's actually one of the things I used to, when I ran, used to have to carry my keys because I was kind of timid about leaving them. Because when you get around, you can't necessarily see what's going on.
Natalie Carr's walk along the path of life hasn't always been a smooth one.
We started noticing Leighton was different around the age of 2. Jump.
Leighton has autism, and even after he was diagnosed, Carr says getting him help didn't come easy.
I mean, we were having meltdowns every day. He could not function in a school setting for more than an hour. So I felt like at that point, we were getting nowhere. I mean, we were at our stopping point. There was nothing else to do. He was getting kicked out of school. 1 in 68 children is born with autism. The numbers are staggering, and sometimes finding the tools to help a child diagnosed with autism can be difficult too.
Because it's so specialized in terms of working with the population for people with autism, you have to go through considerable amount of training to be able to diagnose, to treat, to help individuals with autism. So it is not really available in all areas.
Dr. David Irwin is director of the Autism Center at the University of Louisiana Monroe. He says the Autism Center was started in 2016 because of a lack of resources in Northeast Louisiana.
There are some other places, but they're in South Louisiana, some are in Arkansas, Mississippi, and people just couldn't get there.
1, 2, 3.
That's something Natalie Carr learned very quickly. Her son was the first child with autism spectrum disorder to receive treatment at ULM's Autism Center.
It's a very lonely journey. I mean, it seems like doctors don't really know what to tell you, and friends have no idea what you're going through. So, you know, it was just kind of, I always felt stuck.
A simple phone call, though, opened Natalie's eyes to other options that were right around the corner.
Leighton is in a new school. We had somebody advocate with us from Families Helping Families at the school board to actually help us get him in the school that he's in now, where he is excelling amazing grades. He's happy. He's getting therapy at school.
That's my goal, is to make sure that we connect with families who have children with disabilities and let them know that there's no shame in having a child with a disability, and there's no shame in having a child that's diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
Stacey Guidry is the executive director of Families Helping Families of Northeast Louisiana. She's also the mom of a son with autism.
The unique thing about Families Helping Families is that we are staffed by individuals who have children who do have developmental disabilities. So we understand the challenges and obstacles that our families face when they're trying to find resources that are available for their children.
Guidry understands the struggle many parents face as they come to terms with a diagnosis that no parent wants for their child.
I resisted supports when I knew that my child had a disability. I felt that if I mothered him enough and did everything alone, that we could overcome whatever he had and he wouldn't have to receive a diagnosis, and then he was going to be okay.
She calls it one of her biggest regrets in raising her son, a fact she shares openly with others she comes in contact with at Families Helping Families.
This is our 25th anniversary, so Families Helping Families has been in existence for 25 years, but prior to that, individuals with disabilities weren't recognized in our community. Families felt the need to isolate their children or hide their loved ones that did have a disability.
Now, families with children who need help have a place to go. But as Guidry learned through her own experiences, parents must find ways to advocate for their children.
I was told by part of his IEP team that I needed to accept the fact that my son would not graduate high school. And I felt that sticking that on a 7-year-old was unnecessary. And when we had no idea what he could do if he was given the resources and tools that he needed to overcome.
Guidry didn't accept it, and this year her son will graduate.
That took stubbornness on my part, which you have to have, and a lot of persistence and a lot of educating yourself as a parent and really pushing the school system to not be okay with allowing them to just get the minimum to get by.
The mission of Families Helping Families is clear.
Our goal is to allow them to have the best life possible through whatever means necessary. So if that means connecting them with the Autism Center at ULM or ABA therapy facilities or occupational or physical therapy, assisting families in their child's IEPs at school to make sure that the school understands what that child's challenges are.
I don't know how we ever lived without Families Helping Families. So now I feel like I can talk to other mothers because I've been through it, and I can say, it's hard. I've cried myself to sleep for a year straight, but you're gonna get there and it's gonna be okay.